The one who has endured till the end will be saved. I don't think there have ever been any wiser words spoken. The one who will endure till the end will be saved. And I don't like to instill fear into people, but me personally, I believe we are in the end times. Yes, the end times, the biblical end times. And some argue it started with the world wars. That's probably true. And it just raises so many issues because, a lot of people want to deny the spiritual world, even emotions. For me, there's the physical, there's emotions, and there's the spiritual. So emotions are in between the physical and the spiritual world. That's what I think. Because what is spiritual is hard to put into words. It's hard to grasp. And for, let's say, scientifically minded people who are detached from even emotions, who devalue emotions and spiritual things, for people that see where religion can be abusive, like spiritual abuse, emotional abuse, any type of abuse, even financial abuse they do, like the prosperity church or what they're called. People who keep asking, who say that, oh, the more money you give the church, the richer you're gonna be, and crap like that. Like, I would love to earn money with my spiritual gifts, but the fact of the matter is, I wanted to be accessible. Sorry, accessible. So that's why I make videos that are for free. I don't want to be like, buy my course, buy my spiritual counseling, even though I would love to do that because I've healed people. I've seen and called out demons. But the issue is, people have to come to you with their free will. Like, they have to actually want it, like really, really want it. Not just feel like guilty about not being good enough or being weak, and then they feel like, oh, well, I have to ask this person who's wiser than me, who has powers that I don't have. Let me just tell you, because I got this very interesting comment, basically asking me, how does one become a sage? Like, is it something you're born with? What happened there, basically? And the thing is, first of all, the title sage is what I find most appropriate for my being, to describe myself. That's what I find most appropriate to call myself. But I could tell you I'm a mystic. I could tell you even I'm a witch, but all of these titles, they have some kind of connotation to it where I don't subscribe to mixing up things anymore. Like, I've done this when I was a child. I don't do this anymore. I don't do rituals and all of these things anymore. I don't communicate with dead people. I don't think I ever did that, not willingly at least. So I don't call myself all of these things. But what I do have is a deep connection to the spiritual. And that's one of the reasons I loved Avatar: The Last Airbender, because I was like, oh, he's the bridge between the spirit and the physical world, and that's kind of how I felt. And a lot of people who are classified as autistic, I've realized, they are tapped into a different world as well. It's not quite familiar completely to me. I just had a talk with a fellow witch, so to speak. It's just so cringy to say witch, It's like, it's demonized, it's cheesy, I don't know, it's just... But anyhow, we were talking about our experiences, and the thing where you know that it's true is when somebody starts a sentence and you can just basically end the sentence. And you know what this person has experienced. It's familiar to you. And when I discovered New Age on YouTube, even though now I think it has a lot of toxicity to it. But when I discovered it and heard people talking about metaphysical things, stuff that's beyond normal reality, I could just immediately tell there's truth. There's truth in this. I know what they're talking about. It relates to me in my experience. There are lots of people like us, not the majority of society. I would say probably 1% of society, but still. And what the issue is that people are not, especially if you believe that we are in the end times, because it's undeniable. Like, people are just effing around, glorifying things like having no attachment, being disloyal, lying, manipulating your way through life. People are just glorifying this, and these people get millions of whatever, millions of likes, millions of people, millions of followers, because it's impressive to sheep-minded people. It's impressive to them. It's really sad, to be honest. It's really sad. That's why also maybe I put on a mask today, because I don't want you to be blinded by my beauty. Like, I know people like to look at my face, but you have to listen, okay? You have to listen to the message. Okay? So I just want to tell you, for me, I experienced certain things that, as I said, other people have experienced, who also have spiritual powers, like seeing certain things, not having hallucinations all day, every day. No, that's not what it is. I'm hesitant to talk about it. I'm just hesitant because I'm trying, this, did you see these angels, biblical angels, and they always say, be not afraid, like, don't be scared of me. So the problem is, when we are honest, people get scared, people get intimidated, it's just too much for them, and they cannot really comprehend properly what we're trying to say. And also, it's hard to contextualize, it's hard to put into words. So that's why I'm translating things. I'm making videos that are relevant to society now, to problems now. At least I try to. Like, just to put it into perspective, I have been struggling with this depression, anxiety, perfectionism, so many demonic things that had a really tight grip around me, right? It's almost like, oh, nobody ever hugged me. Not like that's completely true, but it's sort of true for lots of us, and for me definitely. So I felt something else holding me instead. In my case, it was depression and all of these other things. And people will say, if you had depression for a decade, yeah, they want to put you on the medication, they want to tell you you will need therapy for all of your life, all of these things. I'm saying all of these things because I was going through hell. I was literally in hell. I was burning in the flames. And I came out the other side, unharmed, stronger even, with more pronounced gifts. Like I can't even tell you. I just want to, for people to understand depression is not chronic. It doesn't have to be. Nothing has to be limiting you at all. It really truly is in your mind. And there are many people that I've listened to, and maybe I had to give up completely. I had to not be arrogant at all. I had to think, okay, you know nothing. I know nothing. That's what I thought about myself. Truly, I had to die in a way to be reborn again. So I think we should just rethink and think about, what do we want this to be, this breaking down? What do we want the result to be? Just somebody who's forever broken? Or somebody who grew stronger of it, who learned their lessons? And then I was open to actually receive messages, to receive what other people was really saying, and not be envious and not even listen to them properly. And I'm not telling you these things because, oh, I'm better than you. Like, oh, you know all of this. Oh, you think you this and that. I'm trying to tell you that there is a way out. I went through it. Okay, I'm just, I don't even know how I'm alive anymore. That's how bad it was. People don't understand. People see somebody who worked on themselves for so long, who's actualized, and they will just be envious. And they will just dismiss it immediately. Immediately. It's so, gosh. My warrior comes out, you know? It's really, okay, back to the topic. So, I was born a certain way. I was born with certain abilities. You know, some people have auditory abilities. They hear things that other people don't hear. They smell things other people don't smell. They see things other people don't see. They feel things other people don't feel. But obviously, this is a very, very touchy territory we're on. Like, where is the line between mental illness, schizophrenia, all of these things, and honest spiritual powers? Because the line is very thin. Admittedly, yes. And people like me who have spiritual powers, believe me, we thought we were insane. We question everything. And that's what makes us different. Don't listen to these people who are telling you, I can speak to your dead mom, give me 200 pounds, and I'm gonna connect you to this dead person. Like, is it not obvious that this is bullshit? Just tell me, where do I benefit? Where do I benefit from talking about topics that nobody cares about except people who have been called? Like, there's a reason why you're here. There's a really good reason why you're here. There was always a reason why I watched certain videos and why I was in certain places, why I heard certain things. And, you know, I believe everything happens for a reason. Because in hindsight, they always make sense somehow. Everything that happens to you, just think about it. And only because it led to something that seems very negative, temporarily negative, you think, oh, this is wrong, this shouldn't have happened. You come out the other side much stronger, even when it's very hard to go through it. And I know it's very hard. I know. If you are struggling like I did in the past, I wish, we could just hug, or just in a parasocial way, I'm giving you a hug with these videos, because now it's my turn. With great power comes great responsibility. So I want to just share one dream, like a prophetic kind of dream I had, and that's gonna be it, because goldfish attention span, yeah? So before I say this, because something happened before I dreamt, and I just want to tell you one thing. If somebody has a mental illness or schizophrenic or anything like that, things will keep repeating. Probably not every day, but at least every week or so. But how I know that I'm not schizophrenic or anything like that, first of all, is these things that happen that are super natural. They happened a few times, sometimes years apart, and there was no real correlation, like there was no other symptoms or anything like that, and it was like almost like it's just a phase. So there was one phase, and that led up to this really, really intense dream that I had. I was laying in bed at night and I heard booming sounds, like something like that, loud, but at the same time not loud. It was almost like something very loud, very far away. And it happened maybe 5 times or so, or maybe a little bit more. But I did so much research and all of these things, and I found nothing. Basically. But I just connected with somebody else who has spiritual powers as well, and she said, so her opinion is, when you are called to your powers, and I immediately know what she's saying is gonna be true, because this phase that I'm talking about, there were other signs that I was waking up to my powers. And I can't talk about everything in one little video, like it's already long. So if you're interested in anything specific, just ask, and I'm gonna make a video on that specific topic, okay? Because otherwise I'm here all day and I'm doing other things. I have to go to the gym soon. Anyhow, she's basically told me I was waking up to my spiritual powers at that moment. And for me, it was a really long build-up. Like, I was born a certain way, yes, but it took to me almost like 3 decades until I matured enough to realize these powers. So anyhow, when I was hearing these booming sounds, there was one night where I had a dream about a big tree-like thing. And from the tree were cocoons, big cocoons. And if you know Naruto, Shippuden, the end, that's kind of what it was. But I didn't watch Naruto at the time. It was like, and it wasn't the same thing, but it was similar. So what else happened was, it was all very red and dark, and I never had a dream like that in those specific colors with those, like, imagine all of the walls around me are just dark red. That's what it was. Never had another dream like that in my entire life. I'm not joking. It was the only time I dreamt that everything was red, anyhow. And also about the cocoons, there was only one time and never again. Even though I watched Naruto so many times, so it never happened when I was watching it. Anyhow, seeing patterns is very important with all of these things, because logically, you can just dismiss it all. You can just say, oh, dreams don't mean anything. But dreams are really linked with your brain, and we apparently don't really know what our brain is really doing and how it really works. We don't know how the brain works. We don't, I know it's scary, but that's what it is. So the people were in the cocoons, and funny enough, I wasn't in this cocoon. And most of my life, in my dreams, so I started having lucid type of dreams quite early, like when I was a young teenager. I had nightmares most of my life, like really, really nightmares. And then when I stopped smoking weed, or when I left my ex, because he was demonic, suddenly it stopped. So I had nightmares all my life because I was always surrounded by toxic people, like in deep relationships with toxic people. So that's also a sign. If you have nightmares all the time, there's somebody that you need to get rid of, definitely. So having this type of bad dream, and I wasn't scared at all. It was weird because most of my life I had nightmares, I was always scared, I was always in a victim position. That's the most important part. I was not a victim in this dream. But I was looking at these people in the cocoons, and the cocoons were kind of translucent. And I was just like, why are they in there? I remember just thinking, why are they in there? Like in a way of, why don't they come out? Because it's almost like they were just being NPCs, basically. So before I could do anything, I heard these voices behind me mocking the whole situation. And they were like, haha, look what we did, And I looked down, and there was this thing pointing at them and just laughing. And mind you, I didn't really see it. That's why it's so hard to talk about these things. I saw it, but I didn't saw it at the same time. It's really, how do I explain this? Imagine a ghost maybe, and the lines, they're not lines like us. It's blurred. It's like some type of entity thing. I can't explain it otherwise. And yeah, basically they were demons. And they were like pointing, laughing, like, look what we did, I don't know what else. They were just mocking the whole thing. And yeah, it was, I had this deep, deep sadness about it, And I started my YouTube channel back then because I knew I got so many other messages telling me, basically, God or my Holy Spirit guide or something, I don't care what you want to call it, that's communicating with me and that's always leading me in the right way, because every time I listen to this voice, amazing things happen. Things just happen. Things fall into place. Just, I don't know how to describe it, but most of my life was shit. And ever since I realized that I need to listen to these intuitions and these other voices and this guidance from God, everything falls into place. Suddenly I meet people that I'm supposed to meet for really good reasons, and the feelings are just so transformative, like really productive type of energy with all of this. So that's how I know it's true. It just, when you feel it, there's no doubt. It's like when you say the relationship that is actually for you, like in a romantic sense, is not going to be so much fakery going on. It's not going to be like you have to suppress all of these things you want to do. Like, for example, I made a video about my dating experiences, and I was like, oh, if a guy always replies immediately, that's a red flag. I didn't mean to say if you really are into somebody and you want to talk all the time, that's wrong, because obviously that's not wrong. Like, I'm a romantic person. I'm not going to say this is always wrong. But what I realized is that what I was talking about is these people are superficial. They're just into my looks or whatever, because they stop talking also very fast. And no, it's not me always. It's just like, ghosting happens. You can't just always blame one person for everything. That's not how the world works. Like, I ghosted people because I just wasn't, we're not talking about dating here. I don't need the incels here in this, because you're not listening at all. You are ruled by demons. You don't understand anything. I'm not talking about incels in general, okay? You know who I'm talking to. I'm not talking to you, okay? I'm talking to the people in my comments. Just look at the videos, at the video about the red pill thing, and just look at what people are saying in the comment section. Like, they're mad. They're going mad. They're really triggered by me in general, okay? Anyhow, I'm talking about these really toxic, depressed, bitter people who have to put me down solely because I'm a woman, okay? So some of these people, and just toxic men in general, they're just gonna love bomb you, basically. So they're gonna be like, wow, you're the most amazing, you're this and that. And like, it's a bit exaggerated, it's just a bit exaggerated. And then they just found somebody else maybe, because you don't reply for one day and then suddenly they're gone. If you don't play by their rules, they're gone. That's demonic shit. Like, get a life, if you like that. But anyways, I don't know why I'm always getting sidetracked like this. What's the problem? My mind is thinking about so many things at the same time. That's why you don't, if you feel like you're not that smart, be happy about it. Honestly, be happy about it, because people who have very high IQ, your mind is running, it's everywhere, and you have to focus. I don't have ADHD, no, I don't have autism, I don't have these things. Nothing against it, but I don't have anything of that sort. Anyways, if you're that one person who's still watching, just be open. Just be open and listen, because I'm seeing things. I'm getting messages. I'm getting these dreams, and it just keeps. The end result is that we are in a very important phase in humanity, I believe. The world is already ending. So, but think about it, the world is not just gonna disappear, right? So what do we actually want to end? And what do we want in the new world? Because demons want to twist things around and say, oh, you don't want to be toxic? Oh, you don't want to be a submissive woman, for example? Then you're not playing by our script. All of these things I'm saying right now is what people told me in the last few days, okay? You're not playing by our script. You're not playing in our circus. Damn you, literally they're switching everything around. And I'm not gonna fold. I'm not. Like, you got the wrong person here. I'm still gonna make videos even if I get 1 subscriber a year. I don't care, and it's not the case, but I don't care. If it's just 200 people, it stays 200 people now that are really interested, they're open, they have also spiritual gifts, because if you're even able to listen on to these things, you have spiritual gifts. It's just that you're still struggling to fit into the normalcy of the world. Normal? Like, what's normal nowadays? I don't want to be normal, you know? This dream is telling me that people are really in the matrix. People need to wake up and go out of their pods, go out of your bubble. That's what we need to do. So yeah, feel free to add your 2 cents, add an emoji, something, please. I just want this video to find not everybody. It will not happen probably. I mean, it should happen. I wish it would happen. I just was praying yesterday about please God, like I'm not religious, but I pray. Okay, I'm gonna pray right now. Please God, let this video, this insight find people, open their minds so that they can step out of their own hell and that they can find a glimpse of heaven on this earth, because it does exist. And I wish people can find this. I wish people can see this. And that's what I want to put out there in the world. I can't keep it just for myself. I can't. That's why if I get rich, I don't know if I'm ever gonna be rich, because as soon as I have money, I start going out there and giving it to people, because I had shopping addiction in the past, and now I just go to charity shops, so at least my money goes to somewhere where it can benefit the community. And I also brought them 3 bags of donations. So, I'm that type of person. If you want to tell me I'm evil for wanting this, then you are so misguided on so many levels. Please, I'm calling out your demons and they don't like it. I understand. But you don't have to be stuck with them only because they are always there. It's just that they are more visible, not visible, but you feel them more. Instead of having a loving embrace, they're gonna squeeze you. And to somebody who's toxic, to somebody who is traumatized, who hasn't healed, that's what they feel like they need. You get clingy, you get needy, you get obsessed with things too much. Like, that's just what happens. So you need to get rid of these demons by shining light on them. And the light is called awareness, okay? So I hope this video finds you well. I hope I'm not too aggressive. That's just the kind of energy I have when I'm passionate. I really care about you, like about every single person who watches this video, even about people who hate on me in the comments. I really do care about you. But if you don't want to open your mind, nobody can help you. Okay. That was serious. But as I said, I do care about you. So yeah. I'm gonna go to the gym now for the first time in months. So do something good for yourself today. Drink some more water. Eat some fruit, eat some vegetable, Start with the basics. And listen, please listen. And don't get taken advantage of these demonic spirits. Okay, go to my channel and watch the video on demons, like demons exist or something like that, on the world is fake, or why we're all in the matrix, I think, why we're all stuck in a matrix. And like the videos so you get similar content from other people as well. And you feed the algorithm can heal and not be so toxic anymore, not be so demonic anymore. Okay, that's what we need. Yeah? And I'm gonna post like some lighthearted stuff as well, so don't be surprised when you suddenly see like a random dance video or something. I just did one yesterday, but it just got deleted. I'm very upset about that, but I'm gonna do it in the near future. So anyhow, Really, I hope you have a lovely day and thank you for your time. You are sowing seeds that will benefit you for your entire life. I just want you to know that.